Apexis crystals, not only are they the most exciting thing known to mankind, but they're also decently handy to have around as of patch 6.2. Today I'm going to show you how to get as many of these damn little things as you possibly can, starting off with Tanaan Jungle, but there are many other ways to get these, including just some farming stuff, doing old bits of content, the Shipyard, the Mage Tower bonus weekends, and a few other little tips and tricks that I've found throughout my time PTR testing patch 6.2. But let's get Tanaan out of the way. Tanaan is the new hotness as of this patch, and it's worth covering it first. Your first Apexis mission of the day will give you 2,000 crystals. The subsequent 2 bonus ones will give you 800 each, and the quest that is to do those 2 extra ones will give you 1,000 crystals. The daily to get Fel Corrupted Apexis Fragments will give you 1,500 as well, and there are 2 other quests which can spawn. One of these will always give you 500 Apexis Crystals, however sometimes the other one will give you another kind of currency. All in all, the daily quests will give you between 6,600 and 7,100 Apexis Crystals for 40 minutes of gameplay. On top of these, you can continue to do more of the bonus Apexis areas after you have done your first 3 ones for the day. I don't recommend doing these though, as they offer the same reward as the Apexis missives from patch 6.0 and 6.1, but they are tuned to be that little bit harder. Now, if you finish your daily quests without doing the Apexis missions in Ironhold Harbour or the Iron Front, or maybe even the Temple of Shannara, then it might be worth doing those because they're actually really quick to do. I wouldn't recommend bothering with Szeth Gol if possible, or the Arakoa one, because they're kinda slow. Especially the Harbour, actually. If you can do the Harbour, just do it anyway, because it takes about 5 minutes to clear that thing. Just kill a whole bunch of mobs on your way to the cannon, pick up the ammo, and kill everything in sight. As I said, it only takes me about 5 minutes to do that one on the PTR. When doing Tanaan content, be sure to stand in the green goo until you get around 8 stacks of the buff. I have pretty much always found that this extra damage done is a massive speed up, and the extra damage taken honestly never really causes much of an issue for me. On the PTR, I could complete a full round of Tanaan quests in about 30 minutes, depending on the Apexis areas that I had to go to, and since I didn't have Aviana's Feather on the PTR, you could do it faster. So in summary, doing every daily quest will give you between 6,600 and 7,100 crystals, and then doing the remaining 3 Apexis missions will net you another 2,400 Apexis crystals, however that's a little bit slower. It's also, I suppose, worth mentioning Tanaan Jungle mob farming. You can always farm mobs in Tanaan. It's a highly exciting activity that, in all honesty, should be a last resort. If you do farm mobs in Tanaan, then do remember that there is a weekly quest from the Saberstalker faction, which will give you a buff to the number of Apexis crystals which drop from mobs that you kill. But still, I don't really see this I don't see that it's worth your time, honestly. If you are going to farm, then I'd say Ironhold Harbour and the Iron Front are good because there's loads of mobs there. However, if you want to get rep with the Saberstalkers and get Apexis at the same time, then it's worth forming up a farming group and just clearing stuff out in the Fangre'la area. Still, it is worth doing the Saberstalkers weekly quest at the start of each week for that buff. Because, well, it's going to be useful for the rest of the week, and you will be killing mobs in those little sub-zones anyway, inside Tanaan. The weekly quest will also get you loads of rep with the Saberstalkers, which will help you unlock your flying a little bit faster, and of course flying will be very helpful in getting more Apexis crystals, because it's going to basically just slice down your travel time by quite a bit. Next, let's cover the Shipyard. It's another major part of patch 6.2, and it has a bunch of missions which give you loads of Apexis crystals. Specifically, there are missions that give you 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, and 2,000 crystals, with the mission difficulty increasing sort of in line with the number of crystals that you actually get for doing the mission, which makes a decent bit of sense. You can also buff the rewards from the Apexis missions by completing another kind of mission. Basically, there is a 4-hour-long mission called Cracking the Whip, and after you complete that mission, a circle will appear in an area of the map, and any mission that you do within that circle will also give you Apexis crystals. Now, due to the PTR's Shipyard only really being usable as of very, very recently, I haven't got to do this myself yet, but of course, it is another way of getting Apexis crystals, so it's something that you should be doing. Also, we've got doing old stuff. Do not forget that the old Apexis quests are 100% functional. This means that you can get from 800 to 1000 crystals for doing the regular daily quest that spawns at your garrison's daily quest table thingy. On top of this, you should also purchase a scouting missive, which will activate another Apexis mission. You can use the missive for the same area that you've got your regular quest for, which means you can actually do 2 of those Apexis missions at the exact same time, so it will basically give you 1600 Apexis crystals for doing the one mission. If you really want to grind out more Apexis crystals, then just continue doing scouting missives for as long as you have the garrison resources to spend. But for most people, I would just recommend doing the regular quest and then a missive in the same location. Another thing that is definitely worth doing is the Mage Tower. It's absolutely absurd, quite frankly. I couldn't quite believe how many crystals you get when I actually first started using it. Not only will it give you lots of crystals, but it will also give you a port to Tanaan, which is really useful. So each work order for this building costs 5 Ogre Waystones and gives you about 200 Apexis crystals. That is kind of modest, but you can farm 100 of these in 15 minutes easily in the area underneath Bladespire Citadel. You can probably get nearly 215 minutes actually. But 15 minutes of farming, assuming that gives you 100 Waystones, will equal 4000 Apexis crystals. That means that an hour of farming here will give you 16,000 Apexis crystals. So no matter what, it is always worth keeping up to speed with your Mage Tower / Spirit Lodge work orders. You also get items which instantly complete a follower mission. Basically, if you've got high level or high item level followers, then some missions will appear from your regular garrison mission table that reward you with Apexis crystals. Now that is very, very good, and being able to complete them instantly is a nice boost. In addition to that though, here's the little trick up our sleeve. There is a follower called Solar Priest Varix, which you are able to purchase when you get to Honored with the Order of the Awakened. Now, he is special because he's got a unique trait called Apexis Attenuation. This will increase the Apexis rewards of any mission he goes on by 100%. Now, I find that I get, let's just say roughly 1000 Apexis crystals per day from my mains mission table. Now, there are also some Apexis mission bonus event things that go on. Check your calendar to see when these are active, but during these events you will get triple the Apexis crystals from mob drops. That sounds nice enough, but from my experience, it's just not as competitive as grinding out the missives from the patch 6.0 zones. Still, be doubly sure to do your Apexis missions while this is active anyway, because, well, you're going to have to kill mobs to complete those missions, and if you're getting triple drops from the mobs, then it's probably worth doing anyway. So, overall, what's it looking like? Well, you get 7,100 from your regular Tanaan jungle stuff. You then get 600 for doing a Apexis missive and a regular daily Apexis quest in the same area. You then get 1,200 per day from your Mage Tower work orders, and about 2,000 from the follower missions. I've got no idea what the average daily crystal number is from the Shipyard, but I think maybe 2,000 is a reasonable number. So with all of that in account, you're probably getting between 13 and 14k Apexis crystals per day, and that isn't even when you think about the crystals that just drop from mobs. Once you get half experienced at it, you'll be able to do all of this content within a single hour. This basically means that every 3 days, you'll get 2 bits of those, or 2 of those 695 upgrade tokens from Tanaan Jungle. So if you follow this guide, you will get a lot of Apexis crystals, and that will turn into either that really nice mount that's 150,000 crystals, or lots of gear very quickly. This is basically what I'm going to be doing on my 3 characters that I really care about in this patch, and it should gear them up really quickly, and I hope that this is of a whole bunch of use to you as well, because we all like gear. But that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.